All right. Hello, welcome back to another awesome conversation for the that's right, the fifth annual Corporate Hustle Virtual Summit. I'm your host, Demetia Samuels, LinkedIn strategist and launch expert, making sure that you monetize yourself inside and outside of corporate America. So I have somebody here today that is from the mastermind that I'm in, so I'm bringing you the awesome people. You already know that whoever's on the summit are the people that you need to know, you need to be connected with, you need to listen to. These are the experts and thought leaders in their area. So without further ado, Jackie, tell the people who you are and why they should know you.
Yes. Well, hello, good people. First of all, Queen, congratulations, fifth annual. Y'all's Queen. That's all I got to say. And who am I? Hello. My name is Jacquelyn Vasquez, Coach Jackie, if you will. I am a money mindset coach. I help female entrepreneurs clear their money blocks so they can attract the money and success they deserve.
I love that. Okay, wait. Before we go any further, how did you know that you could help clear money blocks? How did you stumble upon being able to clear money blocks? You don't wake up one day and just say, you know what, I can clear money blocks. So how did you get there?
Yes. So as most of, entrepreneurs know, it's a journey. Being an entrepreneur is a journey. You may start off saying, I want to do this. This is what I'm going to do. And then it takes a turn. You start doing something different. And so what ended up happening for me, I was surrounded by female entrepreneurs. I was helping a whole lot of female entrepreneurs. And I noticed that we weren't making the money. And I say we because they weren't alone. It was me too. And I said, well, what in the world is going on? So a coach told me, we all have money blocks. And they gave me the steps, but never really fully broke it down. Like I would do the steps and I would be like, did I do that right? And never fully gave me the opportunity to do it with them. And so that's how I ended up finding a problem, because the problem was mine. And I wanted to help other female entrepreneurs solve this problem. And so I am, I'm NLP, certified. So I do neuro linguistic programming. I do hypnosis. I'm a hypnosis practitioner, so I help with hypnosis, as well as emotional freedom technique practitioner. So, and, I got my degree in psychology. So I took my degree, my certs, put it all together so I can truly help female entrepreneurs change their mind so they can change their life.
Okay, y'all, ding, ding, ding. She said the magic words that we all love to hear in corporate hustle land, that she took those degrees and those certifications. And then she said, you know what? I can create my own brand and business and thrive in any economic environment, which is what we're all about. Now, how did you decide once you got that degree, I'm not going to just have a regular job, I'm going to go into business for myself?
I love that question. It's so funny because I got my degree, didn't even need it for my job. Like I was already at a high level on my job, but it was like the degree was nothing. So I got the degree for me. And so when, really when it comes to our I love how you say corporate hustle. When it comes to our hustle, right? When it comes to, what we're going to be doing next, it is a path that ends up honestly coming to you. Have you ever noticed that anything that you want to do, it just kind of, you get this feeling like, I need to do something more. There's something more meant for me. And that's exactly the journey I was on. In my job, I'm meant for more. There is something more meant for me. And once I started on the journey, that degree was as if, oh, you were meant to be here. I was meant to do that this whole time. I didn't even know that I was going to be using it for coaching later. So everything that you've done, every degree that you've got is going to lead you towards your purpose. Because at the end of the day, the moment that you have that moment of, I don't want to do this no more on your job, is the moment that you start your freedom trail.
Hey, you guys, see, just because you in a certain position in corporate doesn't mean you can't pursue other things that you're passionate about that will end up leading you to money, right? Now, how do we identify, besides the fact that our bank accounts might have had money in it, we got a money block?
Yes. Well, first of all, that's the first indicator, right? Money's bad right now. But the second, really, at the end of the day, if you don't feel good about money, like if you start thinking about money and it makes you uncomfortable, or you start like when you start desiring a whole lot of something, like I really want to take these trips, or I really want to do this, and all of a sudden, I just to be frank, because this is how I talk to people, it makes you clench your booty cheeks. At that moment, you got some money blocks.
Okay, so basically would I be accurate in saying whenever you think that money is the only reason you can't do something, then it's probably a money block? Okay.
Absolutely.
Money is okay.
Absolutely.
What where how does it manifest itself besides just saying like, hey, I see I got money block, but what if I'm just in my day-to-day, just in my comfort zone? Is there any way for me to know that I don't have money block? So let's say for those like super budgeters or super savers that are like, okay, this is how much money I got, and they adjust themselves all the time to exactly that much money. And it might be a big budget or a little budget, $1 million budget or a $20,000 budget, but they always put themselves in that budget mindset. How would they be able to know that they actually have a money block inside of them? Maybe
that is a money block. So really, at the end of the day,
no budgets. Let me tell my husband, no budgets. Jackie said it.
Well, because at the end of the day, you're only reacting to the money. You're not allowing it to be the energy that flows through you. You're not allowing it to be the energy that serves you. You're reacting to the money that you're having and only spending based upon what you have. And so the way we like to talk about it is you're only focused on what is. But really, the only way that you can expand yourself to more is if you get to the energy of more. If you continue to focus on what is, you're only going to get more of what is. Right? I'm short every 2 weeks on my check, or I'm just barely making it. Right? That's what everybody's always saying, living paycheck to paycheck, because you're only focusing on what is. You're focusing on the paycheck that is right now. You're not expanding to say, hey, you know what would be fabulous? What if I start the business and it blows up? What if that happens? Right? And then all of a sudden your energy starts to shift and change. And all of a sudden you got inspired action coming. You start making moves in your business. All the right people are coming up to you. The money is flowing. And it started off with the what if my money expanded beyond paycheck to paycheck? What if my money got to the point where I have more than enough? Where I can pay my bills, put money to charities that I love, and still have money to just throw in my savings because it's left over? What if I had that? That expansion takes you from focusing on what is, and it allows your life to expand to keep up with the thoughts that will become your reality.
Oh, also I saw some good gems and nuggets in there that I just want to go down and dive deep into. But the first being that you talked about money. What do you think about, like, when I'm talking to my clients and I tell them the reason that they need to start businesses because they need to control money and money does not need to control them? So would that be kind of what you're saying when you say like money flowing and abundance is coming, that you need to control it, right? It does impact your life, so control it. When I tell them money's nothing, it's just a resource that you need to control at all times, right? What about when you hear people saying, some of our older traditions that we've been taught about money? I know that, people, quote unquote, but they're still there. So it's like, money's the root of all evil, or, money will bring out the worst in you, or money, or even the whole, like, I'm trying to make ends meet, or all of these sayings about money that maybe have a stranglehold on us and we don't even know it.
Yes. I call those generational wealth curses. And really what it is your generations before you passed it on to the generation before you passed it on to you. And then half of us are turning around passing it on to our kids. And so there are thoughts and feelings about money that don't have to be yours. I loved how you say you can control money, because truth be told, you can control it with your thoughts and feelings about it. Right? And that sounds so simple, like, okay, yeah, Jackie, I could just feel better about money. I dare you to try. I dare you to try to feel better about money. Treat money like it's your friend, treat money like it's the resource that it is. I remember when I wrote a letter to money and I said, dear money, it's an apology letter. I am so sorry the way I've been holding on to you so tight. I know and I trust that you will always come back to me. Think about that obsessive, controlling, significant other. And they jealous and crazy, and they never think you gonna come back. They think that you gonna go and meet somebody else and just leave them. And think about your relationship with money. Are you treating money the same way? Stop being that obsessive, crazy boyfriend, girlfriend, and start allowing money to be the resource that it is. It'll always come back to you. Think about it. It always shows up for you. Think about it. You make the same money amount all the time. Even when, like, think about parents. When our kids end up having to go to daycare, where does that money come from? Like all of a sudden, $700, $750, $900. I remember when my daughter was in the initial daycare, $1,000. I didn't have no extra $1,000 when I had her, but it seemed to work out because money has my back.
I love that. Money has my back. Let's all say that together. Money has my back. Now, I want to go even deeper with the people that I believe have money issues, money blocks, women and money. Yes. We don't like to talk about money. Nope. We just want it to be there, but we don't want to discuss it. We don't like to, what do you think, or what are your thoughts about women and money and why we don't like to discuss how it's created, how it's built, how it flows, how it moves traditionally?
Yes. Let's take it back. When it comes to where we came from as women, honestly, we have been told we're not enough. We have been told we're not deserving. We have been told, stay in the house, let the man make the money, until what was it, World War I or World War II? That's when they first started letting women get in there and actually start working and doing some things, And so at the end of the day, we have a generational block so deep. And I think that's what's wrong with us as women is we get scared to step up because that money role is a new role for us. If you really think about how deep that goes, it's a new role for us. We're just now starting to make more money, become more business owners, be the first in here, be the first in there. We're starting to break ceilings. And so we have to mentally be ready, or not even be ready, just mentally allow ourselves to know that we are deserving and we are worthy. If you think about a woman, we don't go in and ask for the raise, but the man will. Right? When you think about women, we ain't gonna ask for high ticket prices, but a man show definitely will. And that's the thing, because we don't feel worthy and we don't feel deserving. And so that just goes back to falling in love with you and knowing, oh, baby, this money is your birthright.
I love that. And I'm gonna take this conversation one more level. I would like to say that as African American women, we like to make money in secret because we were there in slaves. We've been working. We've always worked. We've always brought money, or knew how to. Even when grandma never had a job, she always had money that came from another source other than grandpa. Like we always have the ability to put our hands on some money if necessary. So I always feel like we are afraid to say that we know how to make money. We know how to make things move for the sake of our families. It's just that we've always done it in silence, not to maybe bruise the ego, not to do whatever. So now that it's our time to actually say, I make money, I know how to make it. It's now quote unquote a new thing, but it's always been there. I feel like, particularly for us, because we had to keep, we've been working since the beginning, right? I don't remember the time in the history where we didn't get to work as Black African American females. But traditionally, overall women, I agree with World War I, the whole nine, right? But I always go deeper and I always let them know that you probably got some other traumas in there about it, because you've seen your grandmother, you've seen your great grandmother move money, you've seen them move money, you've seen maybe great grandfather went down with diabetes. All of a sudden, the house still keeps running. You've seen it in action, and you be like, she never worked a day in her life, but all of a sudden, the money is still flowing, it's still moving. So I just want us to stop moving in secret. I want us to move with intention and out loud and very powerful. And that's why I named my conference "I'm Enough." Side plug. It'll be already done by the time this airs, but that's why I did name it "I'm Enough." So love that. I love it. If you don't know, I love to talk about money and how it can flow to me. Now, when you say that it's time for women to maybe come to grips with their relationships with money, did you start with the letter? Or is there any place that we can start with? I mean, of course we can hire, of course, at the end, we're gonna talk about how we can come straight to coaches like yourself. But internally, is there anything we do besides, go to the scripture that say Jesus is not poor? Besides all of that, is there something else we can do in there?
So I'm very big on affirmations. And I was just telling somebody yesterday, when you touch your throat, realize how it vibrates. And that vibration, because if you think about it, even when you drop a a pebble into the water and the ripple effect. Same thing is going on with your voice. It's vibrating throughout your whole body, all the way down to your pinky toes, right? So really what it is when you start to affirm yourself, people love to pay me, right? That makes you move different. When you start to say, I love money and money loves me, it makes you move different, And so I'm very big where you start affirmations. Tell yourself I am abundant. I attract wealth. Money loves to hang out in my bank account because, honey, my bank account is comfy and warm for it, And so when you start to just change the way you conversate with yourself about money, it makes money show up for you differently.
So let's talk to the moms real quick about money, right? Let's talk about, let me tell you, actually, look, because I feel like you might have a little something to say about this. The difference between telling your children no because they really don't need it versus no because you can't afford it.
Yes. Oh, this is so big.
Comes from a different place.
Yes. And it's so funny because when you're saying that no, both of those hold different weights. When I tell my kid no because I can't afford it, my child is developing money blocks in their mind. They're starting to think in a place of lack. They're starting to think that, I'm not worthy because since we can't afford it. So when you say you don't need this right now, that's your 15th squishmallow. It's not required. Like, you got enough. Play with the ones you have. Or when it comes from a place of, not so much of the scarcity, but more of the necessity, that's a huge difference. Because when we teach our children scarcity, they end up growing up with that scarcity mindset, and they're always thinking there's never enough.
Ooh, that's fairly powerful because I used to tell people that if my mom told me no, or if my mom couldn't afford it, I used to be like, clearly I didn't need it. Like I grew up like if my mom could not afford it, I must don't need it, right? Yeah. But that wasn't necessarily the case. It wasn't that I didn't want it. I still wanted it though, right? Yeah. So as I grew up, I was like, let me make sure that I control money because if I want something, I want it, right? Because
right.
When you get past needs, and that's the other thing that led into this conversation. When you get past needs, as most, in today's world, the people who are watching this summit, you might be on your way to 6 figures in corporate or beyond because you're starting to want to build those businesses, do the things. So either corporate is not paying you enough or you realize I can make even more, either one, right? You're headed to, I want more, I want abundance, right? As you head there and has those needs, and those needs are now taken care of. We're not talking about light bills. We're not talking about this. We're talking about now whether, am I only going to Jamaica because that's all I can afford? Or I don't really want to go to Paris, right? So I just want people to expand their mind about how money could be restricting you and you don't even realize it, right? Because it's what you're choosing. You're choosing the vacation because that's what you could afford, not because that's what you want, right? And so that's the stranglehold I feel like money has on us, even as we pursue success or we deem ourselves successful, right? So this is, awesome sauce. What advice would you give us as we are new entrepreneurs out here in the money blocks that might come up? And I say that because I always feel like once I started my entrepreneur journey, that's when they all started coming out, like related to like asking for the sale or saying, like you were saying, charging high ticket. What advice can you give us to navigate those feelings?
Yes. So first and foremost, it's so funny. Some of the major money blocks that entrepreneurs experience. The first one is as soon as you say, okay, in my business, I want to make, because you got to have a goal. Let's be honest. I loved how you talked about instead of just needing, but the want. A lot of people just go for what I need rather than what they truly want. So when you start to make a statement that, hey, I want to make, right, 250,000 in my business this year, that want is going to bring up a lot of uncomfortable feelings, a lot of money blocks. And the moment that you notice it, this is what I tell everybody. That thought does not belong to you, baby. We get 60,000 thoughts a day. 95% of them are on repeat. And the moment that you realize same thoughts equal same actions, you are going to see that I need to make a change, right? And so notice that the thought does not necessarily belong to you. I like to say, let it fly by like watching clouds in the sky. And just take a look at it. You don't have to feel bad about it. Don't be upset for yourself for having the negative thought. And a lot of the times the negative thought is, how am I going to make this 250,000? I don't even make no sense. I ain't even got no clients in the pipeline. How is this going to happen? That's normally the first thought. Or who am I to charge this amount? Who is going to pay me? And you know what I love? Most of the time women got accolades, honey. We talking about plaques all over the wall. And they still talking about, who am I to charge this? Those thoughts are okay. Let it fly by like a cloud in the sky and just take a look at it and say, is it ultimately true? Is that an ultimately true statement that I need to know how I'm going to make it? No, because money comes in infinite possibility, infinite ways. I can sit up here and say, oh, well, I'm going to make it with 10 clients. I'm going to sell, 1,000 books, right? I can make these statements, but let's be real. Let's be real. I can also hit the lotto. I could also have a great uncle who passed away that left me some money. I could also, money can come in so many different ways that you don't want to limit yourself on the thoughts of the how. So let it fly by. Is it ultimately true? I need to know how? No, I can get a windfall. I could walk down the street and find a bag of money on the floor. Do I ultimately need to know how? No. And once you realize you don't need to know how, what's the new story? The new story, like I said, money can come into me to all kind of different ways. And I'm here for it. And I'm open for it. All I know is I want 250,000 by December 31st, whatever the year is, right?
However you want to do it.
Yes.
I'll take it.
However, I'll take it.
I want to shift, because you said something earlier in your intro that intrigued me, and I'm going to say this for the people at home. I've never met a Black female who does who's a hypnotist or can work in that realm. Can you talk about that? Because immediately people like, what's going on? So so can you just expound on that?
Absolutely. Hypnotherapy is transformational. And the truth be told, really, it's not the Vegas show that you didn't see. Ain't nobody gonna have you barking like no chicken. It ain't like that, right? Walking like a dog. It ain't like that. Really, what hypnotherapy is, it's a conversation with the subconscious mind. Let's be real. You're being hypnotized constantly. As you scroll through your Instagram feed, they're hypnotizing you. As you fly through your Facebook lives or you on your TikTok, they're hypnotizing you. As you watch commercials, they're hypnotizing you. Everything that even when they say about beta waves and talking about the music you listen to, you're being hypnotized. And so we don't realize that we're constantly being hypnotized daily. And when somebody says, oh, I do hypnotherapy, they're telling you, instead of just going around and letting everybody else talk to you how they want to, you get to talk to yourself how you want to. We sit down in an interview process where I find out everything you want yourself to know about you, about where you're going, right? Let's say you have a whole bunch of money blocks and you're like, man, money is just not my friend. When we get in that hypnotherapy session, it's a simple conversation of money loves you. Money is your friend. It is flowing to you constantly. And the moment that is in your subconscious mind, you may have a thought, oh, money don't like me. But because that's in your subconscious mind now, that money loves you and it's flowing constantly to you, you end up being like, nope, money loves me. It's flowing to me constantly. It changes the way that you think, and it takes that negative thought that's been on repeat in your mind, and it changes it to a positive one. So you can have a positive thoughts on repeat in your mind, have positive results, have positive behaviors. It just changes everything.
Oh, I love that. I love that, you guys, just having conversations with yourself all the time, because I guess my money affirmation is I'm always like, money comes to me easily, frequently, abundantly, and obediently, right? I'm always it needs to come to me easily, frequently, abundantly, obediently. And I just say it to me every time. I'm like, oh. But what I realized, and maybe out here in corporate hustle land, maybe you could help us, maybe you could touch us just one good time, is, hey, I always think that I have to unlock a new skill in order to get money. And I liked earlier when you said money can come to you any kind of way. For me, I think that's why we do the boredom thing, or we go get 1,000 more degrees or 1,000 more certifications, because we think we have to unlock something else to get that additional money. So after I made 6 figures, I'm like, oh, clearly I must got to go unlock a network, unlock a new coach, unlock a new something to get that. But it just might be a mental block. So can you talk about how people think that they have to do something in order for the money to come?
Yes. We all think we have to take massive action. We do. We think that I have to take massive action to make massive amounts of money. And the truth be told, again, money is energy. It is energy. And it's not about the action. It's truly about what you believe. That's the only thing holding you back. It ain't no degrees. It ain't nothing else but the B and the E in believe. And that means that you are going to be that individual that is bringing in the money. You are going to be that person who money flows to you easily, abundantly, and obediently, right? You are being that person, and being that person looks definitely different than a whole bunch of accolades. Being that person is feeling into the feeling now of what it would be like to have what it is that you desire. That is being it. You ain't got to do nothing else, but just believe. That's it.
You guys, we out here. Y'all better get to believing. Let's go. Let's get to this money inside and outside of corporate. We don't care where you get it.
We don't care where you get
it. I always tell people, I don't care as long as it legally and morally comes to me. Come on. Okay. Just come on. Do you have any resources or books that you recommend for us?
Oh my God, absolutely. Okay, so first of all, I'm obsessed with Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you've never read it, matter of fact, don't pick the book up because it's actually really boring. But I do recommend the audio. The audio is amazing. But there's also Think and Grow Rich by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, which is the Black Code. And so he goes over Think and Grow Rich, but from a Black perspective. Basically, he picks up on all of the Black millionaires and billionaires and talks about how they got to their money. The Wealth Choice is another one. Dr. Dennis Kimbro is my obsession. I love him. So the Wealth Choice, he talks about deeply, money. But when it comes to, what you want, because I'm giving you books, somebody to listen to, somebody to go on YouTube and just check out Esther Hicks. You want to change your energy, you want to change your life, and the way money comes to you, look up Esther Hicks. And you will know how you can energetically attract more money into your life constantly.
Awesome. Well, let people know, how can we get in your energy space? How can we hang out with you? Where do you hang out at? Where can we get more of Jackie?
Yes. So I'm on Instagram, TikTok, heavy. Those are my babies, right? So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at The Pursuit to Happy, because I believe that we're all on the pursuit to happy daily. And so at The Pursuit to Happy is where you'll find me on Instagram and TikTok. And, I'm on Clubhouses. I am on Clubhouse at The Pursuit to Happy, but I'm also on Facebook, The Pursuit Club on Facebook. So yes.
Awesome. Well, do you have any parting words for us? Anything you'd like for Corporate Hustle Nation to know about or be about?
Yes. So just know you are a gift to this world. The moment that you start treating yourself that the gift that you are, the moment that everything that you desire, your wants, your dreams, the abundance that is your birthright will come right to you. Don't hold back. Dream big. Want everything that you want, because it's in your mind for a reason. It wouldn't be there if it wasn't something that was deserving for you. And then one last thing, especially for, people who are starting out their businesses, or you're just trying to figure it out from, being in corporate, you're loving your job, or you're trying to excel there. Just one more thing, know that everything that you do desire, it's like a boiling pot of water. It's going to come to a boil. Your manifestation will happen. You just have to, again, believe that you are deserving and worthy now, and it will open up the path right to you.
Awesome sauce. You have been hanging out with the Pursuit Club. Pursuit of Happiness. I read that. The Pursuit of Happiness, right? And
Yes.
Demetia Samuels, this has been an awesome interview about money. If you did not get anything out of this, some gems about how we can expand our minds when it comes to money, especially in this road to success, and how you might have these blocks in the way of whether you're not getting what you're worth or you desire or you want, or even that you need in life when it comes to money. If you're not controlling this resource, if you're not doing exercises or being in environments to make sure that you're always getting out of your comfort zone when it comes to money, then I don't know what you've been doing, right? Because you see that it needs to get done. The work needs to be put into it, regardless if you think you have control or not. I think it's just like a psychiatrist. It doesn't hurt to go pursue it, to figure it out, to see if that's one of the things that is stopping you from catapulting you to your dreams. But this has been an awesome conversation. As always, thank you for joining us on your first year of the summit. You know, we got to bring you back more times and probably get you on the podcast, because the podcast is usually a longer conversation about money. But I'm Demetia, and that's Jackie, and we're out.
Bye.